Okay, we have insulin, cartridge, alcohol swab, syringe, needle, and this is called an inset. This is the T-Slim pump.
It's not on the camera.
Yeah, this is the T-Slim pump right here. The cartridge, alcohol swab, syringe, needle, insulin, and this here is the inset. This is a standard change. We change every third day. We put roughly
180 units.
yeah, roughly 180 to 200 units of insulin in the new cartridge. Do not do that.
Okay.
So here we go. To start out with, we get to the menu, push 1, 2, 3. Right here. It says calibrate CGM. We need to do that. So we're going to close that. Anyway, you push 1, 2, 3 to get into the pump. Go to options. Scroll down. Load. We're going to go to load. We're going to change cartridge. Hit change cartridge. It's going to ask you, in order to change a cartridge, all insulin deliveries, including basal and any active bolus or temp rate, will be stopped. Continue with the question mark. We're going to say yes. It says all deliveries stopped. Right now it says disconnect the fusion set from your body and press next to continue. So we've done that already. There's what the inset. Hit next. Okay, it says remove the cartridge and install a filled cartridge. Press the unlock button when completed. Okay, so we need to take the cartridge out, which we need. It helps to have something to pry it out. I can probably take my finger and put it in there and pop out the cartridge like that. Like that. Do you remember how many units were in this?
Let me check.
Well, it's probably not going to show now.
Oh. I'm pretty sure that there was about 8 units.
There was 8 units in here. We're going to discard that. Usually we try to save anything over 10 if needed. So, okay, that's that. Okay. Now we're finished with the pump for just a little bit. We're going to get the cartridge out.
Can I fill it, or are you going to do it?
No, I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
Cartridge. Pull the cartridge out of the package.
Ready. I'll get the... And then you're going to take the syringe and the needle, and you're going to put the needle on.
You're not in the view of the camera. Let me do it.
Okay.
So you're going to put the needle on the syringe. You're going to take the cap off. You're going to pull till it says 2. And the 2 means that's 200 units. 1 and 1/2 is 150. 100 is 100 units, and so on. So we're going to pull it to 2. We're going to take the insulin, and we're going to push the air into the syringe. Then we turn it upside down and let it fill the syringe. You can help it out a little bit. 2. You want to thump it. There's some air bubbles trapped at the bottom. There's some air bubbles up here, but you want to thump it to release some bubbles to the top. Go past the 2, and then back to the 2 to make sure you've got all the air out. And then make sure it's on 180 to 200. So anyway, and then you're done with that. Now you take your new cartridge right here. You take a syringe, put it in the little white dot at the top. It will barely slide in, just a little bit. The needle won't go all the way down, and you will stop, and you will push all of that insulin in there. Okay. You want to thump this cartridge to make sure, because there's air in the top. So thump the cartridge a little bit and pull it back out. And there's some air. You can see in the top of the syringe that there's some air. So you want to push all the insulin back into the syringe, but not the air. Okay, alright, that's done. We're done with the syringe. Put this over here in our trash pile. Trash pile, trash pile, trash pile. Okay, now we're going to take the pump and slide the cartridge inside the pump. Then we'll take the inset now. It's got plastic. We got to get all this plastic off the inset. Open the back side right here. Take this off. It's got hose in here, medical hose. Take it, undo all of that. There's a little notch here. There's a little blue cover over the needle for the inset and the cannula, and you just pull that off.
And you need to be careful when pulling out the tubing, because
Yeah,
it can come out.
yeah, that's a good mention right there. When you're unwinding this tubing right here, make sure you don't pull on it too hard, because you can pull the inset completely out of this, and then you have to start all over again. So anyway, take that, let right there. You want to connect.
And make sure you turn the big one, not the little one.
Yeah, it's got a big deal here. You want to screw it on to the hose from the pump. This is the little pigtail off the pump. You screw it onto the hose. Okay, and then we're done right here. So hold it, make sure it's in the view of the camera. So we go back into our pump now. Hit 1, 2, 3 to access it. It says CGM high alert. We're fixing to take care of that. I think she just had some ice cream, so her.
You think I did?
You did have some ice cream, so your blood sugar is okay. It says remove the cartridge and install a filled cartridge. Press the unlock button when completed. Okay, so we are complete. We've got a new cartridge, new hose, new inset, so we're ready.
Make sure you don't poke yourself with the needle either.
It says press next to continue. It's going to detect a cartridge.
Takes probably about 30 seconds to do this. Are we only giving this video to Mia? Mm-hmm. Okay, just making sure. Okay,
it says make sure the inset is disconnected from your body and securely connect the tubing to your cartridge. Press next to fill the tubing with insulin. We've already done that, so we're going to push next. Okay, it gives us fill tubing, so we're going to hit start.
And
You gotta hold this up in that straight up, the tubing straight up in the air, in case there's any air left in the cartridge. It will come out first.
it can stand on its own. It can do a trick.
And then when it gets to 5 units, there's enough, it should be all the air out and enough insulin into the tubing, you can let it go. So it's at 4.4 right now. There's 4.7. There's 5 units. 5.5, that's good enough. Okay. And we can just let it down. It'll push the rest of the air out from here.
And then make sure that the tubing isn't going everywhere.
To fill the tubing, to fill the tubing, it takes about 16 units to completely fill the tubing. We're at 10.5, 10.9, 11. There's 14.5.
1, 2, 3. And also another thing that you have
That
to
was
make
16 units. Yeah, you need to make sure that there's 3 drops that come out of the end of the needle on the inset. Now it's detecting insulin. It's going to tell us how much insulin. It's calibrating and see how much insulin's left in the cartridge.
because every time you fill,
Now it says if you see drops at the end of the tubing, press done. If no insulin drops are noticed, please fill to continue filling. Amount filled was 16 units. We seen that. So we seen 3 drops. So now I got to go back in here. 1, 2, 3 to unlock it. We seen 16 units and we seen 13 or 3 drops, not 13. 3 drops. So we're gonna hit done. Okay, now it says fill cannula, but we can't fill cannula right now because we've got to insert it onto the body.
okay, and
So you need an alcohol swab.
you need
Fi-
to take an
You'll need-
alcohol swab,
You'll take an alcohol swab.
rip it open, just like normal. And do you want to prop the camera up so that it can see?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Stop it.
Okay.
Now you want to find the area, locate the area that you want to install or put the, you need to change sites. So she's going to put it back here on her upper hip or waist, upper waist.
And you're going to alcohol it once and
And
then
l-
let it dry. And then you're going to want to alcohol it again. So we're going to alcohol it again.
You got to let it completely dry.
And you're also going to want to make sure when you put it on that the sticky part doesn't come up, because then that can pull out the cannula and that won't be good.
Come over here a little closer.
Okay.
All right, now we have this. It's got a cover on there, like a Band-Aid. You got to peel this off to expose the sticky pad. You got to be real careful so you don't pull the inset out of there. So you got to be real gentle with that. To cock this, you hold the ribbed edges. There's ribbed edges and a smooth edge. You take 2 fingers and hold the ribbed edges and you just pull the center back until you hear it click twice. You have the tubing has a notch in the side of the plastic inset tool. You need that hose to lay in there. Then you take, this needs to either be running right or left, not up or down. Right or left is okay. It has an arrow on there, so you can go by that. So the notch is right here. The arrow is right here. And so that can go, do not run it up and don't run it down, but it can go right or left. She's putting it on her left side, so we're going to make the arrow go right with the tubing going right. So here we go. All right, I want to count to 3.
2, 3.
Okay, let it set. Kind of don't mash it in, just kind of push on a little bit to make sure it's stuck good. And then you want to be very careful. Hold the tubing with your thumb and pull straight out. And then we're done. We're done with that.
And then you are going to want to turn the pump back on and do 1, 2, 3. And you are going to do fill cannula. And it says insert a new tubing and connect to fill cannula. Press next to fill the cannula with insulin. And then we're going to press next. And it's going to fill with 0.3 units. And we're going to press start. Now you don't want to stop this because it will automatically stop itself.
Then after you fill the cannula, sight reminder is turned on. Just leave it on and hit done. It says test BG in 1 to 2 hours. Then it's going to ask you right here. It says resume insulin now. This will resume your basal and the active.
Press.
CGM alert. You need to calibrate.
Okay.
So. This will resume your basal and the active personal profile. Are you ready? And we hit resume. If everything's good to go, it'll have a splash down right there. She's got a high BG, but she had some ice cream, so it's probably going to be high for a little bit. Battery's 10%. She needs to go charge it. And we will upload the data on here and her blood sugar meter. We will upload it to the internet, but that's not something that's critical.
Our finger sticker poker meter.
So that's pretty much it, and that's it. So, all right, thanks.